Hey guys, Coach Brian here, and I'm here with Coach Justin, and we're doing something a little bit different this week. This week we're going to one of my favorite places where I spend a lot of time for a healthy snack or groceries, Whole Foods. And we're here in Santa Clara, and what we're going to go through today is we're going to share the 5 tips and strategies to set you up for success every time you go grocery shopping. So these 5 things we must do, we're going to share with you guys today as we go inside the store. Things that you must do to have massive success, and you're fueling yourself correctly. So let's go. Let's get it. Let's do it. So guys, first and foremost, the most important thing when you come into a grocery store is we gotta make sure we come into the grocery store not hungry. Right, Coach?
Yeah, it's definitely something that when I come in hungry, I tend to go away from what I'm actually here purchasing. I tend to go with things that I want to eat right away versus coming here and purchasing things that I need for me.
100%. That's one of the biggest mistakes that happens when you come into the grocery store. I'm hungry, I need to go grocery shopping. And what happens is you've just come to food paradise on a starving stomach, coming in and you take your game plan and it just goes out the window. Because now you're surrounded by food, now you're surrounded by things that probably aren't the most healthy that you're gonna wanna eat, and those are typically the things you attack first. So, tip and strategy number 1 is do not come to the grocery store. Do not come to the grocery store when you're hungry. And if you happen to be hungry when you get here, I would suggest typically for me, what I do is I drink a full bottle of water to help satiate myself, to help control the hunger before I'm going into the store.
Yeah, a little water, settle your stomach, maybe a small snack, just so you curb your appetite a little bit, and then you can make a little bit more of a productive trip to the grocery store.
Otherwise, it becomes a shopping cart full of pastries, and that's the last thing that you want. Okay guys, second tip and strategy, which is very important, is always come to the store with a list, right? Coach, this is a healthy eating grocery list, and this is really important that we start off with just identifying, as you know, a list of all the types of healthy foods we want to make sure we're fueling ourselves with. So tell me a little bit about your approach when you have your list when you come into the store.
Yeah, so I always have lists when I come in every time with a few different things that I want to purchase, right? My proteins, my produce, and obviously coming with a bunch of different variety. 3 to 4 different fruits and veggies, 3 to 4, about probably 2 to 3 different types of proteins. It's huge having a list, so at least you have a game plan and knowing exactly what you're trying to do when you get in here, rather than just going on a whim and just picking up what you like. If you happen to be in a rush, one thing that I usually do that helps me out a little bit as well is with every grocery store that you guys step into, there's always going to be a handful of ads and coupons. Take a look at this, take a look at what's on sale. It gives you an idea of what's out there, maybe even give you an idea of sparking some ideas of what you want to purchase as well. And obviously, if you're in a money crunch and on a budget, coupons, different items that will work well for you based on what you're trying to purchase as well. So I think those are great ways to kind of get going.
And like you said, Coach, one of the biggest things is we're going to share the grocery list. We're going to share the grocery list, but it's very important. We got meats, we've got fish, seafood, grains, protein, seeds, and nuts, oils, vegetables, fruits, dairy, and foods to avoid. So having a list like this is extremely important because if we just come in and wing it, well, we're not checking all the right boxes, things that we need.
Exactly.
And it gives us an idea of saying, I only want to have X amount of things based on this list. Because our lists are based off of strategy number 3, as we're talking about, is the plan. So having a list should be only done towards the recipes and plan that we have for the week. So Coach, I want you to tell me, as we're grabbing stuff along the way, what are some of the things in this list that, what's your week like going into your grocery shopping? Do you wing it, or you're grocery shopping with your list towards a specific plan of meals that you're going to have for the week?
I mean, I definitely think having a general game plan of what you want to have each time that you're in here is going to help you a lot. It's basically your roadmap to navigate around the grocery store as well, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be specific of I need this, but if you know, hey, this week I want to focus on getting more citrus in my meals. If I want to get a little bit more of seafood in my diet as well, now you can at least have an idea of how to approach it when you get into the store.
100%. And it's not one of those things where you're buying 50 different items on there and you have 50 different meals throughout the week. Is that you go in and you understand, here's the plan, here's what I want to focus on. And what you're doing is you're just, it's your game plan on the nutrition side that sets you up for success. And you're big on this, every week, prepping, putting the meals together, and keeping it simple, starting with the list, keeping it simple, all around a game plan on the nutrition side. So that way, all of your meals are dialed in. You're green or red? Red?
I like food.
You like these ones?
Yeah. That's where all the sweetness comes from. Bananas for the break room?
You need definitely some bananas for the break room.
Yep, pretty much. Dude, I smell and touch everything, like almost too much.
Hey, sir, you need to buy that. You touched every piece of fruit and vegetable on here. And let's get some, these are easy. Let's get some cuties. Cuties. What's your other go-to fruit, Coach? Those your main ones?
Other go-to fruit, I mean, handheld is usually these. These are much easier. I always go with some berries as well. Get some antioxidants, a little more color.
Some grapes. So what we want to do is when we start off our grocery list and we start off shopping, start off with our healthiest stuff first. When we get into it, if we start off with things that are a little more junk food, and that fills the cart up, we don't have less room for the nutritious stuff that we have. So it's most important when you get in the grocery store, start off healthy. Remember, we're already coming in not hungry. We're starting off with the right mentality. And then fill that cart up so that it takes up a lot of space with a lot of healthy food. So now we don't have a lot of room for snacks and crackers and donuts to pile on because the good stuff has already taken up most of the space. Okay guys, tip number 4 when you're shopping. Make sure you stick to the outside of the store when you're going to your grocery shopping. Most of the stuff that should be in your cart should be from foods that are on the outside of the store. Right, Coach?
Totally agree. And that's where all of your quality is going to come in as well. Staying away from all the processed and packaged foods. You know, we're walking by the protein section right now. One thing that you do want to see a little bit more here is when you purchase your proteins, buy them when they're fresh. They're always going to come better when they're fresh versus coming in from a package. So if you're buying sausages or meat for your hamburger patties, buy them fresh. You're going to pay a little bit more, but you're getting a lot better quality out of it versus it already being pre-packaged or frozen. Right, so those are a few tips when it comes to the protein portion. And like Coach Brian said, the outside of the store is where your quality is going to be. That's where you're going to get all of the most nutritional value out of the foods that you're going to be buying.
Because typically center of the store is a lot more pre-packaged, processed foods. So that's where the majority of that stuff is going to be the fresh, cleaner produce, the fresh meats, deli. Those are going to be more to the outside of the store. So fill that cart up with fresh foods. It's cleaner, leaner, and healthier for you.
Totally agree. Yep, gotcha.
Coach, we're gonna go last thing right here. Number 5, we're going to nutrition labels. This is the big one, okay?
Oh yeah.
Now we go to the center of the store, okay?
Exactly.
We set people up for success right here.
Totally. Let's get it.
Okay, so the 5th tip and strategy I want to share with you guys is take a look at this aisle right here. Wow, the bar section. We're at the bar. Now, you're active or you get hungry at times, this is what happens. People go for the bars.
Yep. Quick and simple. Quick and simple.
Now, most bars, as we're going to see here in a second, can seem healthy, but it's also very overwhelming. When standing back here, I'm looking at probably, I don't know what you say, Coach, 100 different brands, 100 different bars. Packaging, labels are all very important to understand when we're looking at this because not all bars are created equal. So, Coach, let's look at an example of 2 different bars with the same labeling, same appeal of grams, number of grams of protein for the bar, and let's compare the 2 because what we want to do right here is we want to make sure that we're reading the labels so that we know which is the healthier option of the 2.
Yeah, I'm going to go with probably more common ones that most people tend to go with, right? Cliff bars, it's a pretty common item that a lot of people see. So we'll grab a protein bar here. Looks like it says 20 grams of protein. Another good one, I think, Quest bars. Quest bars are a pretty common item that a lot of people grab as well. And this also happens to have 20 grams of protein. So very simple to just grab one that's cheaper, right? The Cliff bar here is about $1.59. Well, the Quest bar here is about $2.99, so it's almost double the price. But if you really break it down a little bit more and look a little bit more at what each one provides for you, there's gonna be a big difference on those 2 different items, okay? So if we look at the nutritional value here, right, the Cliff bar here, it's much cheaper, but for the same amount of protein that you're getting has 270 calories, right? You have also 80 calories from fat. So you get about a third, a quarter of that almost all coming specifically from fat. At the same time, high sugar content, 20 grams of sugar, with only 2 grams of fiber. Okay, and if you take a look at all the different ingredients, you got a lot of things from rice syrup, kernel oil, cocoa, even things that I'm not even too sure of what they are, right? If you look
can't pronounce them.
Yeah, if you can't pronounce them, it's probably not a good thing.
That's a good general rule. So you have 2 different bars, one 21 grams of sugar, one with 1 gram of sugar, much different fiber intake. And most people are going to see these, right, Coach? They're going to say, oh, 20 grams, what's the difference? Well, I'm going to take this one because it's $159 and this one's $249, a dollar more. But what we're paying in that dollar more is monumentally different.
Totally.
You know, people want to cut costs of $1 here, $2 there, but what they sacrifice is the amount of sugar intake that goes into their body, which makes it even that much harder. So you think these workouts become that much tougher to do to burn off this excess sugar and things in our body that aren't healthy for us. So when we look at saying to spend a little bit more to get a heck of a lot more quality, that's typically what you're going to see in a lot of these things, and why these bars are so different and discounted from one to the other. They lead with the same, thinking it's the same value, getting your attention that says 20 grams of protein, 20 grams. All these things are leading first with protein, right?
Totally.
Healthy protein bar. But when you go behind the hood and you see, just like Coach Justin shared, you see a little bit more of their data.
Exactly, and that's the thing. That's one thing that we want to emphasize all the time is the quality of the foods that you're getting. You know, and again, it kind of goes back to the fact that, hey, what are you trying to save here? A few bucks here, or are you trying to save more in terms of your long-term health, right?
100%.
And like we mentioned, a bar here that costs cheaper, it looks more appetizing, it's chocolate mint, whatever it might be, higher sugar content, while the Quest bar, lower in calorie content, same amount of protein, dietary fiber at 14 grams, you know, your sugar is less than 1 gram of sugar here, so you know in the end, pay that extra buck, get better quality of the food, it's going to help you out with your workout as well and your training, and obviously you're within your recovery.
100%. And what this all comes down to is being aware when you're shopping for your food. And the same we would look at with bars is the same we would look at with drinks and smoothies. People see a lot of healthy juices that are on the shelf, and that's what we want to encourage you. Take a look at it. Yes, it may say fresh, clean, organic, all this healthy, natural, all these fancy buzzwords, and it's green and it's got all the kale and stuff on there. When you look behind, you got to make sure you read the labels, because a lot of those drinks will say 21 grams of sugar, but really a lot of those are two servings per one bottle. So you've got to make sure that you're doubling everything that you're seeing on there. So that's 42 grams of sugar of something you think you're walking around with this healthy green juice. No, you just injected 42 grams of sugar just like that. Spiking cortisol levels, raising fat. So it's one of those things we've got to make sure we're mindful of. So when it comes to the nutrition side of reading the labels, make sure you don't just take the face value. You don't take the face value.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
So guys, there you have it. It's your 5 tips and strategies to make sure that you have a successful shopping, healthy experience next time you're at the grocery store. So make sure, first one, don't come into the grocery store hungry. Second, make sure that you have a list of all the healthy foods. Third, a plan of attack with the recipes, meals you're going to cook throughout the week. Fourth, stick to the outside of the store. That's where you can get your produce, your lean, healthy meats. And last thing is, Coach just explained,
We'll actually focus on the nutritional information of anything else that you purchase at the store.
read the labels, guys. As we talk about all the time, nutrition is all about awareness. Be aware of what's going into your body, because your nutrition should be fuel. It should fuel you, not just make you fuel. So guys, have a great week. Let's dial this thing up. And next time in that store, be fully aware of what you're purchasing.